What's going, amazing people? My name's Jacob Pollitt, and I'm going to give you some spiritual advice about relationships. I comment and mention this a lot as one of my founding theories and hypothesis in evolution of consciousness and human evolution, and that it's like the nonsense of sitting there watching TV or some Netflix, whatever nonsense, brain-numbing retardation device of denial and delusion, while you're sitting there on your phone doing absolutely the same nonsense brain-numbing shit that's forcing your brain to be primitive, limited, and useless, which is now down to the attention span of a goldfish. So well done, humanity. Anyway, that's that same thing as you're sitting there and you're diverging your attention span multiple different ways. Not only are you not conscious, you're unconscious, but you're so unconscious that you're diverging your attention to not only just looking there at having that coming into your periphery, that the TV or whatever that is, but then you're also on your phone doing absolutely the same stupid shit, wasting and programming your brain for absolute uselessness. So doing that is making you so primitive and useless, okay? Now, I'm going to use that as an example for your relationship. I say the three-part divergence. That your self-identity is the thing, not the human form. So the third one is a thing, is an external ramification, is that something that humanity has created, whether it's, I am this job, or I am this title, or I'm this money, or I'm this house, or I'm this whatever. I'm the guy that gets the girl, or I'm the girl that, is a whore, whatever it is. That's your self-identity. And it's something that humanity has created, right? So that you're so far disconnected from source, your three parts disconnected. Now, the second part is the physical form, that your self-identity is the physical form and what the physical form can and cannot do. That's why people, we know this. So the third part is like, why does everyone after retirement die? Because their self-identity, they don't know who they are. They spend the last 40 years of their life being something they're not. And the moment they don't have that job anymore, that career, that sentence, they die. Check it out. Number two is a human form. So once the human form deteriorates, as it all does, like you get sick, or you get an injury, or you get disability, or whatever it is, or just mental illness, which the world is suffering heavy with, everything goes out the window. Now, that's fine, and that's well and dandy, but I want to talk about relationships. Your relationship is not what someone can give you. It's not, because people will always have a friendship and do this thing where they attach and they put themselves in groups because they can't do it for themselves, and they can't get it themselves, and they can't be it themselves, so they surround themselves with those people that can do it for them. Human nature. But they do this in a relationship, and it's not about what they can offer, it's about what they can get. The external, egoic, what do they call that? Jumping through hoops. So it's the expectation that the other person has on the other to, they've got to have this, they've got to be like that, they've got to do this for me, and all this sort of shit. They are so externalized and pushed and pulled and moved, they're so worthless, that something that their partner does will trigger them, and then that make them lose control of their brain, and then attack or become one of the sides of the evil ego, aloof, poor me, aggressor, interrogator. So you're either going to become victim mentality, or you're going to actually abuse the other person and create a problem, gaslight them, because of your fucked up, worthless emotional immaturity. And so, or they're going to do something that you don't like. So they either don't do something that you want and expect them to do, or they do something that they choose to do, which have free will, either way, and you lose your shit. So the three parts I want to really be clear with is that you live in a world that is to get, not to create, not to be. That you are so weak and worthless that you need somebody else in your life to balance you out, to give you what you don't have, to make you, oh, once I have this, then I'll be happy. Once I have a relationship, then I'll love myself. Or once I've found somebody, you know, the one, then I'll stop fucking around and be a slut. Like, definition of a moron right there, those people. They have no self-worth, no ability to demonstrate that they have any self-control, self-honor, or self-respect. And they demonstrate that they don't, in fact. And then you got the second part, which is the physical. They live in the physical world, so it's not what they can get. So that's how far from divinity they are. They're all about getting, and it's ticks and like symbols, and oh, then I'm gonna look like this because I'm with him and he got this, or girl, she's got this fine blah, 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 blah. And then I'm gonna feel like this. A dumb. Third part removed. Second part is the relationship. Oh, the relationship's gonna give me this, and then I'm gonna feel like that, and it's gonna be this safety and security and all this sort of stuff. To simplify it down for you, you're still disconnected from source. Your relationship, stop fucking this up, is your opportunity to be formless with another soul that you have a soul contract with. Stop fucking, I saw this quote the other day, stop holding on to someone else's soulmate just because you're afraid. And that's what I mean. It's not the physical form, and until you evolve consciously enough to realize that the physical form and your fear of losing it, or fear of your expectations, or fear of it making you feel a certain way that you don't want to feel because you can't control yourself, and feeling like that is too much for you because it's too much, because you're too worthless to be able to not deal with it, understand that it is parcordial. That's all the human form is, but you are the energy within and the soul inside that person. You may fall in love with anybody. That's meant to happen, and you might fight your whole fucking life and waste it. And if you don't get it together, then you're going to miss what you're meant to get, which is going to be far greater because your evolution of consciousness, that it entails of you facing obstacles within you, letting things go, admitting things within inside of yourself, and allowing yourself to receive something so much better. That looks weird. So much better. And that means you're going to be so much better. It's not about receiving, it's about being that as it is so. And until you're open to receiving that which is the best thing for you, and stop trying to do the ego control freaking thing because you have no self-control, so you can try to control everything else out of fear, you're going to miss out on all of the divinity and all of the love and all of the greatness that entails. Your soulmate is a soul. Your twin flame is the energy. It's the God particle that brings us all together. That's the same thing. It is not a physical form, and this is not a free pass to be unhealthy, psychopathic, fat, disgusting human being. That it's about being the best you that you can be. Okay? And stop having expectations of others, and instead be the best version of you and inspire the world. And stop holding on to someone else's soulmate just because you're afraid to be alone. Anyway, I'm going to go into this much more in further videos, but until then, au revoir, ciao, and bye.